Crystal chandeliers at the Fairmont's Grand Ballroom fractured light into rainbows that slid across the marble. 200 guests shimmered in couture, champagne flutes winking as a string quartet played. Orchids hung in clouds. Ice swans sweated. Every card was hand-inked, every bottle the kind you savor. I stationed myself by the service entrance in my plain black suit, the same one I'd worn to interviews 3 years ago. Pressed hard, paired with loafers I'd polished that afternoon. In this room, I passed as neutral furniture. The waiters nodded to me like a colleague. No one else registered I existed. Darling, perfection, my mother trilled, air-kissing Lila's mother. Mom sparkled in a new Valentino. Her earrings tossed stars. My father, chest out in a custom tux, held court by the bar. Only the finest for our Ethan, he boomed to his partners, watch face catching light. Full scholarship, youngest partner, now marrying into the Pennington family. Our boy never misses. Ethan stood at the center, a Tom Ford ad brought to life, arms cinched around Lila's waist. He narrated Maldives sunsets and Martha's Vineyard vows with the ease of a man certain the world is his understudy. Lila's emerald cut ring threw bright rectangles across the floor. Her friends squealed on cue. I kept moving, refilling glasses when a tray sagged, stacking plates when a busser fell behind. Utility is a good disguise. Sweetheart, can you fetch those caviar canapes? Mom called across the room, the way one might beckon staff. I nodded, scooped a silver tray, and threaded through talk of stock splits, ski houses, and acceptance letters. Excuse me, sir. A woman in beads stopped me. Ladies' room? I pointed without comment. Correcting people takes energy I spend elsewhere. At 9, the Penningtons arrived. Charles III, old money in excellent tailoring, and Marina frosted with heirlooms. Applause fluttered. Toast multiplied. Wine loosened the laughter. Around 10, Ethan tapped his flute. The quartet hushed. His gaze found me. He smiled, the childhood smirk that meant a performance was coming. Family, he called, beckoning them toward the service alcove. Meet my brother, Noah. They formed a tidy circle, faces expectant. Charles extended a practiced hand. Marina's smile was the kind that evaluated lineage, tailoring, and posture at once. My brother's been exploring his options, Ethan announced, volume pitched to reach curious bystanders. Gap years that turned into gap eras. The chuckles arrived on schedule. We're trying to help him find something stable. Maybe admin work. Something with a time clock. Heat crawled up my neck, but my voice stayed in my throat. Mom chimed in from behind Ethan's shoulder, cheerful as a hostess. Noah's very creative, always scribbling, building little gadgets. We've told him for ages. A practical path would do wonders. Dad added the tidy bow. He's brilliant, just not industry aligned. Laughter lapped at my shoes, phones lifted, recording the spectacle, rich people, levity with a moral. Ethan basked, flourishing the memory reel. As a kid, he swore he'd change the world. Big dreams, no roadmap. Meanwhile, some of us learned the ropes. The quartet resumed softly. I balanced my empty tray like a shield. Lila, mid-laugh, glanced at her screen. Her smile stiffened. She pinched, scrolled, froze. Then her eyes flicked to me, back to the phone, to me again. What is it? Marina asked, sensing the temperature shift. Lila turned her phone so the circle could see. A magazine cover glowed. Fortune, block letters over a photo of me in a charcoal suit, skyline at my back. The headline, Noah Hale, quiet architect of a $3.4 billion AI revolution. The sound in our pocket of the ballroom thinned to a high, fine wire. That's not you, Ethan said, but it came out like a question. Lila read, voice hollow with disbelief. Founder and CEO, Aurelia Systems. IPO 6 months ago. Patent portfolio spanning diagnostics, logistics, and quantum-safe cryptography. Contracts with 42 multinationals. Estimated net worth, she swallowed, $5.2 billion. Charles had gone pale. Marina's pearls seemed suddenly heavy. Dad's mouth opened and closed. Mom's fingers found her earring as if it might anchor her to the floor. I lowered the tray. It's accurate. Why didn't you tell us? Dad whispered. I tried, I said. You preferred the version where I needed saving. The quartet's melody carried on. Oblivious. In our circle, the air recalibrated around names and numbers like a room shifting after an unseen tremor. Ethan's confidence drained. Noah, he said, smirk gone. We were joking. We didn't know. You didn't want to? I said. Knowing would have cost a story where I'm the cautionary tale. Mom touched my sleeve. We are proud of you. Pride after a punchline is hard to hold. Charles cleared his throat. Mr. Hale, Noah, work sounds consequential. If we misjudged you, we apologize. Marina's poise softened. We did. I set the tray on a linen table. Congratulations, I told Lila and Ethan. May marriage mean seeing each other clearly. Lila nodded. Ethan tried again. Can we talk? There's going to be attention. There always was, I said. Tonight just gave you better lighting. Dad drifted close. What happens now? Now I go back to work. A clinical trial needs green lighting and a security review at dawn. I looked at them. If you want a relationship with me, it can't rest on a version that flatters you. People nearby pretended not to listen. Then we'll learn, Mom said, from the start. Start by not needing me smaller, I said. I moved past the circle, returned the tray to a grateful server, crossed the ballroom. Quartet's waltz released me. At the door, I paused. The orchids, the ice, the room that had laughed because it was easy. Outside, night air rinsed the noise. I called the car. My phone hummed. Priya, my chief of staff. Aurelia, up, press stacking. I replied, hold statements. Lead with science, not spectacle. A sedan nosed to the curb. As I reached for the handle, my phone lit again. Ethan. We'll try, he said. Good, I told him. So will I, but not at my expense. I slid into the seat, let the city slide past. Utility is a disguise. Truth is a life. Tonight I chose the second and left the first on a silver tray.